very sad to have to be here today and to report that another child has been hurt as a result of a sexually abusive Roman Catholic priest. We're here today because a child from the Navajo reservation at Christ the King Parish here in Shiprock, New Mexico, was sexually abused by Father Chuck Chikanowitz. We have filed a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit here in Navajo Tribal District Court on behalf of that young man and against Father Chikanowitz and the Diocese of Gallup. The first and foremost important thing today is that if there are people out there who have been injured by this priest, that they can get help. And we're asking them to come forward if they have information, if they are witnesses or have any information, or if they themselves were hurt, to call the police and try to get the help that they need. Okay? What happened in this case was this young man lived here in Shiprock, and as occurred during 84 and 85 time frame, not everybody had a telephone in their house. And the rectory at Christ the King did have a telephone, and they allowed people to come in and use the telephone if they needed to make telephone calls. And I have here a diagram of the Christ the King Parish and the buildings on it. And the pastor's residence was where the people went to use the phone, and that was the case here. This young man had a girlfriend. He wanted to call his girlfriend and tell him where he was going to be and the such. And so he went into the rectory, and this young man isn't even Catholic. He's not a Roman Catholic parishioner. But he went in to use the pastor's residence. Father Chikanowitz offered him, after he used the telephone, Father Chikanowitz offered him alcohol, he offered him beer, he offered him whiskey, and basically got this 14-year-old kid drunk and sexually abused him. That happened one other time. So this young man was sexually abused twice, and it was the same MO both times. Father Chikanowitz offered him alcohol, plied him with the alcohol, and then sexually abused this young boy. I think it's important that we also take a look at where is Father Chikanowitz now, because we notice as of 1991 or 92 he's not listed as a Roman Catholic priest. We don't have any information that indicates that he's not still a priest, because we believe he is, but it looks like he didn't have any assignments. Well, we know where he is. He is in Lafayette, Indiana, and I put on here, he's working for the Alpine Clinic in Lafayette, Indiana, and here's his job description that's available that they put on their website. Chuck Chikanowitz specializes in working with adolescents age 16 and up and adults, focusing primarily on chemical dependency and addiction. Also specializes in working with clients in the criminal justice system. His other areas of interest include sexual orientation issues, mood disorders, and sexual dependency issues. This is scary. This is scary that a man who was a sexual abuser and abused a child here is now working with other children who are equally powerless. I mean, these are kids that are involved in the criminal justice system and have chemical dependency problems, and according to his own bio, have some sexual orientation or sexual issues. We think that that's a very dangerous combination in this, and we're very concerned about that. Okay. What we've done is we've filed this. There's a unique dimension of this case compared to every other case that's been filed in the United States regarding sexual abuse by Roman Catholic priests. We have filed here in Navajo Nation District Court, which is tribal court here in Shiprock. The victim here is a Navajo, member of the Navajo Nation. It happened on the Navajo reservation, and we believe that this is the best and, in fact, the most important place to adjudicate what should happen now. And so that's why we filed the lawsuit here, and we anticipate that it will be litigated here. Okay?
I think today is a historic day. November 6th should be remembered as a day that a case was filed in tribal court speaking on behalf of Native Americans, me myself as an Alaska Native, a Yupik Eskimo, having been raised in Alaska, having been a victim of priest sexual abuse myself, and having talked to the victim who fairly clearly indicated that he would like for people to be less quick to judge And so today I speak on behalf of the victim as well as Native Americans. It is very important. It's a call for people to come forward. I want to give a message that it's absolutely okay to talk about what happened to us as children, as victims of clergy sexual abuse, that it is absolutely okay. And we as a Native people, we need to come forward and say and support our children who are being sexually abused. We know that historically we have suffered great pains and great losses and go through much grieving, and as a result have turned to alcohol, child abuse, domestic violence. We know the long history, and we need to come together and support each other, unite our voices and say this should not happen anymore. We need to put our children in a place of honor and support those who are coming forward, encourage people to talk about sexual abuse. It's not so much about pointing fingers, it's about healing. It's about becoming whole, becoming who we are as Native people with the strength and the integrity that we hold in our hearts.
Again, my name is Joelle Castex, and I'm the Southwest Regional Director of SNAP, the Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests. I'm also a victim of sexual abuse within the Catholic Church. I was abused as a young teenager in California. And today, while it is a sad day that another case has to be filed, it provides a unique opportunity. Because of the tried and true civil justice system, we're able to expose a man who may still be a potential predator and who may still be putting kids at risk. It is also an opportunity to begin the justice and healing process for this survivor and other survivors here in the Navajo Nation who may be suffering in pain and silence. We encourage anyone who may have any information about this case or any other member of the Roman Catholic clergy who may have hurt kids to contact authorities, to contact a group like SNAP, snapnetwork.org, to begin the healing process, to report to law enforcement, to call the police, to call the sheriff, and to make sure that they make a report so that any man or woman who abuses children is stopped and we can keep kids safe today. We also want to let people know that there are a myriad of resources available, and that one of our goals is to make sure that there are people that are available to folks here in the Navajo Nation and elsewhere throughout New Mexico and Arizona, where they can go for help, where they can go for peer counseling, and where they can get the help and resources they need to truly begin the healing process. The civil justice system has become the only way for many victims of sexual abuse to not only expose their predator, but also to expose a system that allowed their predator to molest, to continue to molest, and to escape the criminal justice system. So this is a very good day for the safety of children here in New Mexico and on the Navajo Nation.